Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw NETOSSA from She-Ra. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, let's see. Position, position, position. This one's all about position because that's what I'm doing. So I say this one like this is any different, but what I'm trying to say is right now we are in the positioning phase because I have to do this for everything. Basically, I want to make sure all of it stays on the camera, and that's what this is all about, is making sure that I am in a good spot and don't fall off the page. So when I say this one, everyone is like this. I do that for every single one. But basically what I'm trying to say too is that's what I do for the first half, is trying to make sure that I get the placement right. Then I can worry about the detail. So basically stick figures and stick figures, stick figures, stick figures. That's it. That's really what it's about. Until it comes time to do the detail. And that looks good. I think I'm happy with that. Because sometimes, or no, a majority of the time, I do these crazy foreshortened pictures where basically, instead of drawing like that, you're drawing like this, where it just looks like a nub, you know? So that's why I want to make sure that the stuff that is foreshortened, you can see, as opposed to well, you can't see, you know. So basically what's in front, I got to make sure you can see from what's behind. That's what I'm trying to say. And once I do that, that looks pretty good to me. I can start fleshing it out. I can start adding some details. So let's get I can't speak. I was trying to say let's get going, but it came out as let's get dough. So let's get dough. Maybe that'll be my new catchphrase. No? Okay. And I'm trying to, well, here's the tricky part about these characters. I started to say they don't exist. I do mean that, but I don't mean that. Obviously it exists, that's why I'm drawing it, but they're not in real form like this. So a lot of times, and this is what I talk about, a lot of times I try to draw almost like a cosplay character. So almost like what it would look like if someone were to dress up like these characters, you know, because I'm not very good at caricature art, but also more importantly than that, this is not a real person. You know, this is I'm not drawing from a movie, I'm drawing from a cartoon. So it's a little different. It's a little stylized. Does that make sense? Like it is, but it isn't. And so that's why I need to try to come up with a style that still looks like the character, like that. See, because she's got like, I'll just say it, she's got this poofy jacket and it looks odd if I don't do it right. So that's why I'm trying to capture positioning, placement, and did I come up with this already? The 3 P's, like the positioning, placement, and I couldn't think of the third P. P. So basically that's what I'm trying to do right now, is trying to capture the feel of of a real character. You know, like the details of a real character with a not real character. So that's what it has taken me a long time to finally get to say. I know, I'm not a good speaker. My favorite phrase from other YouTubers that I watch are Evan and Caitlin, and they have a really good shirt for the phrase "words are hard," and they are, absolutely, especially if you're trying to do something at the same time while entertaining people. Words are hard. They are absolutely right. Okay, and you know what else I didn't do? I didn't add details to her face. I just kind of glossed over that real fast. I even put a K in there real quick. I said real fast. Real fast. I was trying to combine quickly and fast. And I spoke too fast. And it didn't come out right. So... there you go, just a little bit of detail just to try to capture that look. And I can't forget this little, see, and there's little things like this, there's little detail that I want to capture, like that earpiece. So something like that. Okay, I think that might work for the top. But what's funny is like this, like I said, she's got an odd shaped like jacket thing that is throwing me off because it needs to be round in places it shouldn't be. And so I feel like I'm not drawing it correctly. Does that make sense? Because she has those poofy sleeves, I feel like I'm not drawing it correctly. Alright, I think that might work. Now, for her hand, I have her doing this. We're trying for a more dynamic hand, so things like this are going to look weird, like these fingers are going to look like nubs. Overall, it's going to look cool, but for right now, it's going to look a little bit off. And I get that. But, again, we're trying something different. Let's break it up into something we normally don't do. So there we go. We're going to do kind of something like that, okay? So it's going to look a little strange at first, but the overall final picture will make sense. And it will look cool, you know. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna draw something you haven't drawn before. So we're gonna draw a little different hand, okay? If not, don't draw it. Draw something else. Go to another one, or just figure out another way to draw it. Because that's the nice thing is we're gonna try something different. And that's what you want to do is kind of try different stuff every now and then. Even if this isn't something you like drawing, I'm very happy if you would stick with it and just draw it because you need to get practice at different stuff. If you just draw the same thing over and over again, you draw an orange over and over again, you're going to be great at orange, but that's all you're going to be good at. What's going to happen when someone says, hey, can you draw an apple? Well, I can draw an orange. That's not an apple, you know? I hate to break it to you, but an orange is not an apple. So, sorry, I sounded so defiant there, so sure of myself. I know what I'm talking about. Orange is not an apple. So yeah, I'm just trying to get you in the practice of trying different stuff, you know? Try different flavors, try different vegetables. See what you like, see what you don't like, but always try. That's what it comes down to. Okay, I think I am ready to go. Let's erase some of these sketch lines and then we'll get going. Because I want my Sharpie to stand out, not my pencil lines. And the first few lines, remember I was trying to get the placement down and all that stuff? All those lines, the sketch lines, they'll disappear pretty fast. I can erase real easily with those. As I got more confident, those confidence lines, I started pressing harder, those won't erase as easily. So, as everything disappears, what I'll still see are the confidence lines, and that's what we're going to use to guide us. So it looks pretty good. I think I can see enough that I can see where we're going to go, and the Sharpie will stand out. So I think we should welcome everybody that skipped and get going. Welcome skippers, welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than the fine point. It can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see, so I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen. And if you're looking for more She-Ra, you can look in this playlist, or if you're looking for anything, check my playlist first, because I've done quite a few things. And see if it's there. If not, let me know. Let me know what you want to see. So, the head is like this, turned, so the eyes are slightly off like this, or at least off to the side. So, we'll call this 3/4 is what we call it. So, I'm going to draw the eye like this. Draw another one like that. Again, just seeing if I've got them turned. So this one's a little smaller. And I'm going to draw the iris, the color part, like that. She's looking at you to the side. And I'm just going to hit it just a little bit in the middle for the pupil. This is so tiny that I don't even have room for it, but I want to give you a little something to draw. So, her hair is kind of covering this side, so I'm just going to do this real quick before I draw through it, like that. I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally go too far into the hair, because for the bottom of the eye, I just come in just a little bit like that. Same thing here, just a little bit, and then I'm going to draw like an eyelash kind of cat eye kind of look. And when I do that, it's up like this, just a little bit for kind of an eyelash, but again, it looks kind of like a cat eye makeup look. I didn't want to draw through the hair over here, so that's why I wanted to make sure that I gave myself enough of the position that I knew where it was going to go. And now that I'm going to draw the eyebrows, same thing. See, that's kind of going to go back behind that line right there. This one I can go ahead and draw out. But, like I said, I didn't want to accidentally draw through that hair, so that's why I planned it like that first. So, for the bridge of her nose, normally I don't draw anything, but because she's actually turned, you can actually see an edge now, you know? So, I'm going to ignore that part since I already have it played out. Draw the bottom of the nose like this, then come in for a little bit of a nostril. You can see more of this one, and come down and do that. Now, I have her kind of smiling, so I'm going to draw her mouth kind of like this. And I've got it kind of open a little bit, so I'm going to bring it down, over, and you see, once you get this small, sometimes you can't draw stuff like that, so I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to draw the bottom lip, just a little like that. Then I'll let color take care of the rest. So, for the side of her face, her cheek, yeah, you can see it. I'm going to come this way. I'm going to come down like this to her chin, and then draw the chin back up to the ear here. Something like that. It's a little pointy, but I'm going to fix it. So I'm going to thicken up some of these edges too. Okay. I'm thickening my edges up because as I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm kind of preparing for that, but also just using some artistic style. She has that earpiece over her ear, so I'm going to draw the bottom of the ear like this. And then I can draw that earpiece. Ooh, my Sharpie just kind of popped. It just did a bit of a jump of Sharpie right there. So that means this one's almost done. Okay, let me draw the inside of the ear real fast, just to kind of little quick something like this. And now I can draw her hairline, the back of her head, and I'm going to start to, oh yeah, I'm going to thicken these up. I'm going to start to play around with the hair. I'm not doing the entire thing, just the outer edge. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. If you're working with pencil, you do what you want. I'm just going to explain to you what I'm going to do because I know what's going to happen with this. So for her hair, let's go ahead and draw that hairline like that. And since it's kind of over, I'm going to puff this one over. There's the back of her head. And it's white in the cartoon, so I'm just going to draw just a few lines just to kind of show that it's some kind of like it has substance, I guess. It's thick. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, just thick. I don't know why I'm trying to think of a better word. Again, words are hard. Thank you, Evan and Caitlin, for that. And again, I'm thickening my lines, but you do what you want. Because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Alright, looking good. So I'm going to finish up the rest of her hair. Let me draw her neckline real fast. Just to solidify where that is. And it looks like she does have a necklace on, or I guess the choker that's connected to her. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So let me draw her neckline real fast, and then I'm gonna draw the edge of her jacket like this. Now I should be doing this with a big Sharpie, and I'll probably go over it again, but I needed that real fast just to draw her little. I wanted to say a necklace, but I guess it's not a necklace. I think it's attached to her outfit. Like this is possibly her collar. All right. And so now I can draw the rest of her hair. So it's kind of doing one of these little whippy things. Okay, and yeah, so I'm gonna take care of the rest with color, but I just wanted to define a few little edges like that just to show that it's got some heft to it. Okay, but I'm switching over to the other Sharpie now. So you saw the position, you see what we're doing, you see that this arm's up and this one's down. So let's go ahead and draw I'm gonna start using this now. So I'm gonna draw the coat like this. See how thick this is? That's what I was talking about, that I wanted to prepare for that with drawing the big Sharpie. Now her coat does have this big puffy sleeve thing going on, so I'm gonna kind of allow for that. There's her collar. So I'm kind of allowing for that in the design of it versus the shape of her arm, you know. So I know it looks a little odd, but again, that's the shape of her coat. Trust me, I wrestled the entire time with being okay with that's her arm. You know what I mean? Because again, there's a part of me, it's like, oh my god, that's so weird looking. Just like this, it looks like this weird, almost look like a brain lines. Like what's your brain made of? You know, all the gray matter. You know, it's just such an odd shape. But again, it makes sense with her coat. Just not looking, an overall picture makes sense, but just looking at it like this, it doesn't make sense. It's like that doesn't look like an arm whatsoever. So, bigger picture, always think bigger picture. So I'm gonna draw her bracelet like this, and her forearm is shortened like this. So that's all you're seeing. And then you're gonna draw her hand. This. Let me draw some small details to kind of show you where we are, because again, because it's foreshortened, it looks a little odd, but you just kind of trust in the process and trust yourself that it's gonna look correct. That's what I'm trying to say, that it's just the way her arm is versus the jacket. Cool design, but sometimes like this, it's going to be at a weird position for an overall cool look, though. You know. Okay, so, again, bear with me. So her coat's coming around here. Her jacket's gonna come down, or the collar of the jacket like this is going all the way around. And so her shirt's gonna be like this. I'm gonna go ahead and draw the front so you see where we are. I'm gonna stop right there. And let me close that off. And her arm, this one is raised up, so now we're doing all this weird kooky craziness, but in an up position. So you can see the bottom of her arm, like this. The top of her arm is going to be something like, let's see, poof, down, then giganto poof, but luckily it's back behind her, so you, like this is raised up behind her, so luckily we can't see all of it. So it kind of gets hidden a little bit, but also doesn't, you know? But yeah, we just have to take into account that it's just this poofy jacket. Okay, so this hand is up, so I'm going to draw the bottom of her cuff. I'm going to draw it up. Now I have her hand kind of bent over in this dynamic position, so get ready for that. This is going to be a little kooky crazy. So it's going to be like this. So I'm going to draw the thumb out like this. And I know the Sharpie is a little big, but again, that's why you sketched it out, getting ready. Draw the first finger out like this. This middle finger is kind of coming in. Looks shorter, right? I know. Hear me out. This one's bent over. And then the pinky is completely down like this. So see, we're kind of doing this. But it looks odd when you're just drawing it until you actually specifically point out, well, this is supposed to be here, not supposed to be there, you know? So, closing that out, and draw some hand lines now to kind of explain a few things. And so that's all it takes, just little stuff like that. And so that's pretty much the hand right there, but just in a dynamic position. You know, sometimes it's weird. You see, like if you draw this, it looks like my pinky's missing, but it's there. Looking at it's no big deal. Drawing it's a different story, you know? So we're kind of doing this is basically what we're doing. So there, yeah, we're done with that. So let's move on to her body. So we're moving down. Let me draw her jacket real fast, or her waist to the top of her shirt so we see where we are, and then I will draw the top of her shirt. It kind of goes over like this. And this is what I was talking about, that I don't know whether this collar is part of this part of the shirt or just, oh, it's just part of stuff, you know? And another one that comes over like this. There, that's all we're gonna do for that. Now she does have some cool design on her shirt, but I'm just gonna let color take care of that. I'm good with leaving it like it is for now, because I think it would look better if we do it with color. She does have some straps hanging down, so I want to do those solidly with black. So let me just draw her hips down like this. There's the back side to this hip, and this one's coming over here to her leg, down to the knee, and the boot, it's kind of raised a little bit on a certain edge, so I'm going to draw it down to that edge. And then, let's see, I'm going to draw this side over here to her knee. Oof, pushing hard on that Sharpie. And the top of her leg, the front of her leg like this. And Sharpie is dying. There's the knee, down to the boot, back of her leg, to the back of her knee, to the calf, to the boot. And again, let me draw the little straps hanging down, but with this big fat Sharpie. Just kind of accenting that they're falling around. Same thing here. I wanted them a little thicker, that's why I was going for there. So let me thicken these up too. I think the Sharpie is done. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Let me add just a little bit of detail here. We'll do like this. just to give it that look that she has. Draw the crotch right there. Okay, and let me draw just a little bit of that line up there like that, just to accent the back of the leg. Knee, just a little bit of knee. It's pretty much, I mean, we're going by a cartoon image, so it's pretty much just a skin tight suit. So I'm just going to kind of accent a little bit of the knee, something like that, you know. Now I'm going to draw the boot, which is kind of like an armor piece, almost like her wrist, just up just a little bit. So actually, the boot is attached to the body like this. That's where the color starts, right? And then there's like another raised layer on top of that. So, like that, just a little bit. But enough that it stands out that I want to do it. Okay, so let me draw her shoe, or the armored shoe, I guess. Something like that. I'll add some detail in a second. Let me just go ahead and do the rest over here too. So again, raise it out just a little bit, just to kind of accent that it's above the leg, you know? And come back in. Ankle, heel, down to the toe, like that. And again, let me add some detail real fast. Just a few specifics, kind of like we did there for the arms. A little bit of highlight. I'll do both sides so I don't forget. Something like that. And then there's another layer, kind of like that. There's another layer. Let me close this off too. And then do just like that. There we go. Then do a heel. Then the front. Then there's like a toe, let's see. It might not be real, it might be rubber. It makes it a rubber toe. I did it. I fit in a grandpa joke. Okay, so let's take care of the rest with color. So sorry. Yeah, so I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is NETOSSA from She-Ra. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.